video, breakthrough study done on 4,807 kidney patients proves everything we knew about protein was wrong. After 10 years of tracking, scientists finally discovered the exact foods that reverse kidney decline. Spoiler, it's not about cutting protein, it's about eating the right foods. The 5 foods of today's video. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and what just dropped in the medical journal is about to flip the entire renal diet on its head. For decades, renal dietitians have been obsessing over numbers, grams of protein, milligrams of potassium, counting sodium like accountants. Meanwhile, patients kept getting worse. Turns out we've been playing the wrong game entirely. Because this study, one of the largest dietary studies in CKD history, just revealed something that's making dietitians question everything. Picture this: 4,807 kidney patients, 10 years of meticulous tracking, every meal documented, every lab result analyzed. What they found out are the exact foods you need to eat and the exact foods you need to avoid. The incredible part, there are some supposedly healthy plant-based foods that are actually accelerating kidney failure. We will see exactly what they are in a moment, because there is something even more incredible this European mega study discovered. Listen to this. There is a way to increase your body's usable protein while protecting your kidneys. Yeah, that's like finding a way to eat cake and lose weight, except this actually works. I mean guys, a science-packed way to increase the amount of serum protein, aka the protein your body can actually use while protecting your kidneys. If that sounds like something that's interesting for you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stuff like this. So the number 5 for today's video, let's talk about how to give your body more protein to use if you have CKD. So in the world of renal nutrition, protein is probably the biggest conundrum, because here's the thing. While your kidneys hate protein with a passion, your body really loves and needs it. If your body doesn't have enough protein to use to repair tissue, you will be at risk for losing your life. It's true, not to be dramatic, but without enough protein, you'll literally fall apart. Yes, remove all the serum protein and your body is going to disintegrate like a politician's campaign promises the day after election. Poof, gone. When that happens to your body, we are talking about a condition called hypoalbuminemia, which is actually something a competent doctor should always test kidney patients for, especially if proteinuria is present. Now, if you'd ask any Instagram influencer how to avoid this lack of protein in your body, they will immediately tell you with a grin on their face to just eat steak 3 times a day, you will live forever. However, ask a scientist the same question and they will tell you it's complicated. There are several factors that can cause this lack of protein, and not eating enough steak every day is not one of them. No, stuff such as inflammation, protein loss, and oxidative stress is what can cause the amount of protein your body can use to be too low. This is what science says, and eating steak 3 times a day won't help with any of that. So what's the solution, you ask? How do we make more protein available for the body to use without eating more high-protein foods? Well, the huge study we are examining today, after tracking 4,807 kidney patients for more than 10 years, was able to find a solution. If you want to live longer, to be healthier, and to avoid renal failure, all you have to do is to eat more healthy plant-based foods. Now, before you say, duh, revolutionary concept, vegetables are healthy, well guys, they also found out something very interesting about that. So here's the thing. Eating more healthy plant-based foods such as raw fruits, vegetables, and whole grains is also going to increase your serum albumin, aka the amount of protein your body can actually use but without damaging your kidneys. Incredible, but true. And if this sounds as easy as explaining cryptocurrency to your grandma, well, don't worry. You just need to remember that, in short, one of the main findings of this huge kidney-saving study is that eating less protein can improve the amount of protein the body can use if you have CKD or proteinuria. So, question, what healthy plant-based foods should you eat more of to reduce the amount of protein you eat naturally? This you see here is a daikon radish. This food is not just super low in protein and potassium while being full of powerful antioxidants and fiber, it also boasts diuretic properties that directly help the kidneys while being low on the glycemic index. It's super easy to prepare. Many people like to eat it in a salad with some carrots. Just add some vinegar, some ginger, pepper, and a teaspoon of avocado oil. You can find daikon radishes in the produce section of most large supermarkets near the other routes. If your grocery store doesn't carry it, try an Asian grocery store. Now in my table here, you can see some more healthy choices that work for each and every single CKD patient. The goal is reducing protein intake and also getting health benefits that go beyond what just cutting protein can offer. Some of the foods you want to eat every day include cucumber, a zero carbs, zero protein, low potassium option. Also, celery, another low-calorie entry with diuretic properties. Eggplant, this is a veggie that can literally fight free radicals better than insurance fights your claims. And of course, we can't forget to mention berries. You should also consider zucchini, a bit higher in potassium but still safe, lettuce of any kind, and the yellow squash. While most squashes are high in potassium, this is a safer alternative. And here's something not many people know about fruit and vegetables. If fresh is not an option, opt for frozen or even canned. Because let's face it, many people don't eat fruit and vegetables not because they don't know they need to. It's because they live in a food desert and they don't have access to affordable, healthy food options. So here's some good news. Frozen fruit and vegetables are super healthy, says research, and you should absolutely consider them as an alternative to fresh. Because you see, canned and frozen fruits and veggies are processed within hours of being picked. On the other hand, a shipping container is where many of the grocery store fruits we eat ripen. But are canned foods actually healthy? Yes, they can be. Oh, this news is gonna open up a whole can of worms or of vegetables. Hopefully it's going to be a can of vegetables. Anyway, what the recent study we are examining found out is that canned fruit is just as healthy as any other fruit. Yes, it's true. Canned fruit can be extremely healthy. And as I say that, I almost hear 1,000 internet influencers gasping, "Ha! Processed can't be healthy!" But no one told that to the scientists who actually studied it, guys. Anyway, this only applies if fruit is packaged in water and if you wash all the added sodium away from canned veggies. I mean, if something is swimming in syrup, added sugar, or salt, you don't want any of that in your diet, right? Because, guys, and this is very important, not all plant-based foods are healthy. So let's move on to our number 4 for today. Let's talk about a food that can completely ruin your diet. And well, this is a food I totally was not expecting to be in the to be avoided part of the diet. Potatoes. Yes, as you can see, this study grouped potatoes together with all the bad stuff CKD patients shouldn't even look at. You know, animal fat, dairy, eggs, fish, seafood, meat, and miscellaneous animal-based foods. So, this is all the stuff you are not supposed to eat, and as you can see, there's also potatoes in there. But the reason is not potassium. Many patients have been forbidden to eat potatoes for decades for their potassium, but we are not in the 90s anymore. We don't forbid foods just because they are high in potassium anymore now. But why are potatoes among the foods that destroy kidneys then? Well, the reason why potatoes are considered unhealthy is just the way in which most people consume potatoes. French fries, potato chips, hash browns, ultra-processed mashed potatoes covered in salt and oil. Consuming this kind of stuff is strongly associated with increased risk of mortality and of ending up in dialysis. So what types of potato preparations are considered healthy then? If you don't have a potassium restriction, well, potatoes can be very healthy. For example, if you boil or steam potatoes without removing the skin, you are going to get loads of B vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. Even baked or roasted potatoes can be good for you if you keep the skin and use very little oil. And they taste so good. Remember that eating foods that you like is of paramount importance considering that the goal is sticking to the diet, alright? And what about people with diabetes, you ask? Well, a simple trick will make potatoes safe for diabetes as well. Use my method on screen right now to cook and cool potatoes before eating them. Do this and their glycemic index is going to be much lower than that of regular potatoes. And patients with too high potassium levels can use the double boil method to cut up to the 50% of potassium from potatoes. Yes, this is what can really make a difference, knowing how to actually turn staple foods into healthy foods. Okay, let's move on to the next entry. Number 3, another hidden unhealthy food is vegetable oil, especially for people with diabetes. So here's something else that's gonna blow the minds of many people. We have been told for so many years that those with diabetes need to eat more fats because they prevent the spike in their glucose levels. This study, they completely scrap that notion. Yeah, vegetable oils in general, even olive oil, are not as good for you as many Instagram influencers and health gurus in general would like you to believe. Plot twist. The heart-healthy oils were playing for the other team all along. Yes, oils for overweight diabetics are just like bringing gasoline to a fire. Oil. Anyway, wait a moment before rushing to your kitchen and start emptying all your oil bottles in the sink like an alcoholic that's trying to quit. Not everyone needs to avoid oil and fats in general. Only patients with diabetes and those that are trying to lose weight should avoid vegetable oils. If you are trying to increase your body weight, oils, especially healthy ones like extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil, are your best friends. But if you are overweight, they are your enemy number 1. In fact, even in the general population, oils are associated to a higher risk for type 2 diabetes. Yes, don't fall for the oil trap. Remember, there is no one size fits all when it comes to the renal diet. And guys, if figuring out the right diet feels like something you shouldn't guess on, well, that's because you shouldn't. Here on YouTube, I can only give general advice. And while it's true that many of my subscribers had huge success following my advice here on YouTube, if you feel you'd like more personalized advice, I can help. I offer one-on-one consultations, and what you will receive is a plan that's 100% yours based on your labs, your symptoms, and your stage of CKD. Because when it comes to kidney health, food isn't just fuel, it's treatment. And deciding what to eat every single day shouldn't be confusing, exhausting, or risky. With my help, you'll get a personalized renal diet that's easy to follow, backed by science, and proven to work with real patients. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start improving, send me an email at catherine@newhopefordkidneypatients.com. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, let's talk about one of the foods that truly make the difference between a healthy plant-based diet that will save your kidneys and an unhealthy one. Number 2 is refined grains. Stuff such as white rice, white bread, pasta, morning cereals, all that stuff. Yes, those are bad for most people, and when you design a study with a large enough amount of CKD patients, refined grains will always be linked to a faster kidney function decline. Now guys, wait a moment before feeding all of your bread and white rice to the pigeons at the park. First of all, rice is not good for them. Second, what we must understand is that both when it comes to oil, as we have seen, and when it comes to refined grains, the issue is the same. These foods are bad for you because they are linked to unwanted weight gain. And of course, being overweight is linked to more diabetes, more cardiovascular events, high blood pressure, and so on. So if your goal is helping your kidneys improve, swap all refined grains for whole grains. For example, brown rice. This is a food many people are still confused about. I mean, if white rice is bad for most CKD patients, brown rice, which is higher in potassium and phosphorus, should be worse, right? Well, actually, no. Brown rice is super healthy. It's lower on the glycemic scale than white rice. It's full of fiber and it's lower in protein than most whole grains. Frankly, replacing white rice with brown rice is probably one of the easiest things you can do to improve your kidney health. Now, if you look at my table on screen right now, you will see some of the whole grains that are lower in protein. This should be what your diet is literally based on. They all have significant health benefits and everyone should be eating them every day. Now, cornmeal here is probably one of the most underrated foods in existence. Most people consider it unhealthy, but you see, cornmeal is only unhealthy if you prepare it the wrong way. Cornmeal is actually full of fiber, low in protein, and naturally gluten-free. Include it in a healthy plant-based recipe and you will find a true health staple. And also consider the other options you see here. They are all great foods. Okay guys, let's talk about one of the biggest dangers out there for people with kidney disease. Our number one for today is a supposedly healthy food that no one should ever eat. One of the main things that this study points out is how different a renal diet is from a vegan diet. And something that really makes that difference noticeable is this hamburger you see here. This is a vegan burger. Sounds healthy, right? Especially for people with kidney disease. Having a healthy alternative to meat may sound helpful. And a lot of people are eating this kind of burger right now. However, what I can absolutely tell you about this burger is that it's just another junk food sold as healthy, like literally any fake meat product. Vegan meat products are almost universally filled with a host of questionable ingredients. Soy protein concentrate, various seed oils, dextrose, aka sugar, additives that I won't even try to pronounce, and more sodium than you can even imagine. Never eat this stuff. Instead, if you want to replace meat in your recipes, use mushrooms, especially shiitake mushrooms. Because while most mushrooms are welcome on the renal diet, shiitake have huge health benefits. They can help with cholesterol levels thanks to their arachidinine and beta-glucans content. And they may even have some vitamin D, which is not easy to get in a plant-based diet. So eat your vegetables, avoid fake meat, and remember, if it needs 47 ingredients to taste like beef, maybe just eat some mushrooms instead. And guys, if you want to see more food replacements that will make your diet actually work, my video up here is for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!